lady on our show now for a couple of weeks, and we've been getting some absolutely great feedback. So congratulations on such an amazing track.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so amazing to hear. Oh, wow, that's so cool.
Not a problem. So tell us a little bit about the track, because this feels like a very, very deeply personal track. So tell us a little bit about how the track came about.
Well, I don't want to shatter expectations or anything, but it was actually a bit of like a happenstance sort of thing.
Yeah.
We were on the lineup for the Wynnum Fringe Festival, and I was actually short a couple of songs for our set, so I needed to smash some things together, and this was one of those songs. And initially, it was kind of it was a much more slow sort of reggae groove, which you can still hear in the bridge of the song. But one of my mates who was playing guitar for me at the time, he said, "Oh, I can't help but feeling like there's this Black Keys kind of, groove in there." And he actually sort of inversed the song, and now it's at the sort of faster tempo that we have now. And yeah, honestly, it started out as a song filler, and it was initially one of my least favorite songs, but now it's one of the first singles of the next EP. So yeah, I've come to really love it, and I think it's I try not to take it too seriously, or I try to give off the vibe that you shouldn't take those sorts of things too seriously. But yeah, that's kind of how it came about initially.
Working under that kind of pressure of having to come up with a song quickly, is that something that you find works for you, or is that something that you generally find doesn't work for you?
Well, it's funnily enough, most of the songs I've written have actually come out of a similar circumstance like that.
Yep.
The first set of songs that I wrote, we actually signed up. Well, someone approached me about signing up to a battle of the bands. Before I even had a band together, I had one song that I was sort of halfway through making, and this person knew me personally as well, and he's like, "Mate, I really need some more bands on this roster. Can you help me out?" I said, "Oh man, I've only got one song. I need to have 3 more songs to even, fill out the set." And he's like, "Yeah, you can do it. I'm going to sign you up." So it was only a little bit of pressure, but all of those songs are actually going to be on the EP now. So as it turns out, pressure does work for me. It's very stressful, and I'm not a fan of it, but I do get results. So yeah. That's a good thing.
You said that initially you didn't like the track. Has that happened many times in your career where you've written a track and you've just gone, "Nah, I can't do this track"?
Absolutely. I think it's so funny because I think people, your audience, or, people around you, the listeners, can hear things that maybe you as the writer can't hear. So, the next single is actually another example of that. This was one of the favorite songs of, the set that I put together. And personally for me, I was like, "Oh, it's just a set filler, whatever." But it came back to be the most well-received tune in our set. So it just goes to show, maybe when you're too close to the art, you can't really have that perspective. So it's really important to have, honest people around you to tell you, "Hey, this is actually really good. And, maybe the song that you love, it's fine, but it's not as good as this one."
Yep.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the EP there. A lot of people have actually been asking us, is Lady part of something bigger? So you've got an EP coming out. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been working on the EP for maybe just about a year now. I've got a couple of people involved in the project, and everyone's sort of got their own lives and musical journeys, so we've been trying to make it work as much as we can, but we're on the home stretch now, and we're just finishing up the vocals for the last song, which is great. And the EP is going to be called Delirium, and that's the title track of the record. And there'll be 5 songs on the digital copy, and if you come to one of our shows and buy the hard copy of the CD, or maybe a vinyl if people are interested, there'll be our first single as well, Walking Free, as a bonus track on there as well.
Now, we do have a lot of people who listen to this show who are vinyl collectors, so tell us a little bit about the vinyl release.
Well, it's still a work in progress. I'm going to put it out there as a pre-order and see if people are actually, if that's something they're interested in. I personally would love to print a vinyl. So if there's enough interest in it, I'll definitely do a run of vinyl as well.
So Recording the EP, have you guys found it difficult to record because of the COVID restrictions and stuff like that? I know, because I spent a little bit of time in Queensland myself, that Brisbane didn't quite have the lockdowns that Melbourne and Sydney did, but did it kind of make things difficult for you guys, and has it been difficult to do shows over the last 2 years as well?
Yeah, it's an interesting time, isn't it? I think, yeah, living up in Queensland, we've been, incredibly lucky, especially, considering what you guys have been dealt with in Melbourne. The recording process wasn't too difficult. We only really needed a few days of, people actually needing to be in the same room. And then from that point on, it was mainly me and the producer working on things behind the scenes. So for the most part, we were pretty lucky. In terms of shows, it's been a combination of things. I've seen a lot of local musicians, getting on the lineup for festivals up here because other interstate acts had to pull out, which, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing, but it's really nice to see local talent up on the big stages.
Yep.
With Lucid Safari, we've sort of been holding back on approaching the festival scene and booking shows because we wanted to work on this record and we want to work on our show and get everything tight, because our biggest thing is that we want to give the best experience for our fans. So we want to jump on that stage and we want people to really experience a good connection they're going to remember, and hopefully they'll come back and be chasing that feeling with us again. So we're actually looking at booking our first headline show to launch the EP.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about what your plans are for next year, because of course the EP will be out. So what are your plans from then on? You said about the launch show, but will you be looking to do a little bit of touring in there as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Once we have, a few more songs to our name and a bit of a reputation, we're going to be pumping the festival circuit, jumping on as many support acts as possible, and maybe a couple more headline shows here and there. I'd love to go interstate as well. Honestly, it's at this point we've got huge ambitions, but it's just a matter of seeing if those things can go through. We'd love to get around and see more people and put smiles on faces. That's what we're all about.
Definitely. And you mentioned about pre-orders there before as well. Where can people go to check out more about the band and check out some of your merch, especially with the EP coming out?
Yeah, absolutely. So on our website, lucidsafari.com, you can find all of our stuff there. Our EP won't be out until maybe February next year, but we'll be putting up a pre-order on the vinyl side of things around January to just sort of gauge numbers and see how many people want that, and if it's something that seems viable, we'll do a press of it. So if you want the vinyl, make sure you go grab the pre-save link.
Awesome. Well, we are going to play Lady on our show again right now. So Dan, is there anything you would like to say to all of our listeners out there before they take another listen to this amazing track?
Oh, just thank you. Thank you for listening to Australian music, and thank you for supporting us. We love it, and we love you. Thank you so much.